May Allah accept our worship and our zikr. Let us renew our shahada, saying, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Sallallahu ta'ala wa sallim. Euz billah min shaitan rajim, bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. نويت وار بين الجوز وانت خلوت حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم صادقة الصحبة في الحال الوجه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم دستور مدد يا صاحب السيف مدد. We're asking support from our Sheikh, the owner of the sword. Sahib al-Saif, Sheikh Abdul Karim al-Kibrisi, Rabbani, who is in the mountain of Kaf now, and is preparing for the big events that is going to come in this Ahir Zaman that we are preparing. Big event happened 100 years ago. And a bigger event is going to come soon. What is that big event that happened? Why are we here tonight remembering? Ya Rabbi, be witness that we are remembering your loved ones. We are remembering your beloved ones who have given up their lives for you, for your Khalifa, for Islam. That there may be millions or billions not remembering and not understanding or not giving value to them. Ya Rabbi, accept our weak service with the blessings of our Shaykh that we are remembering, we are understanding, and we are asking for the help of all those ones who have gone before us, giving their lives for you, Ya Rabbi, and for your Prophet, giving their lives for Islam. Give us a little bit of their faith, Ya Rabbi, so that in the coming days we may give our lives, we may sacrifice everything for your sake. May it be accepted, inshallah. Al-Fatiha. The Battle of Canakkale that took over 250,000 lives, Muslim lives, mu'min, Mehmetchik, the small Mehmets. What does Mehmetchik means? He used to call the soldiers, the Ottoman soldiers, Mehmetchik, little Mehmets. Mehmet is the name of the Prophet ﷺ. The Ottomans, they have very high manners. They have heavenly manners. Very rare. They would call themselves, or they would call someone at that time, the full name of the Prophet. Because that name is so holy that when you say Muhammad ﷺ, you have to give salawats to that name. That today you see so many people, they have that holy name, but it's being used in very unholy, very low kind of situation. And people, you're hearing people cursing each other with that name too. You see that name being put in front of stores, selling pizza, selling so many things. But the Ottomans, they have heavenly manners. They have the adab of the Ahli Jannat. Although Holy Prophet ﷺ said, if you give one of your family members, one of your sons, my name, protection is going to come to that family. Holy Prophet ﷺ did not have one name. He had so many names. Ahmad, Mahmud, Mustafa. These are his names too. In the Dalil Sharif alone, he has over 200 names. Names and titles that is given to him. And so Mehmet is one of his names. And when we say the little Mehmets, they're referring to those ones, little ones who are in the way of the Prophet ﷺ, that they are fighting in the way of the Prophet. So those soldiers, those Mehmetchiks, 250,000 who were martyred in the straits of Gallipoli, of Canakkale, that our Shaykh, may Allah raise his maqam higher and higher, who is also a shaheed, as the ones before him a shaheed, may we also be granted that title for the end of our lives. He said when he visited that area, Canakkale, where the soldiers of the Khalifa were, and where the enemies were, it is not 100 meters away. It's not 50 meters away. It's like 10 meters away. And they were fighting, and they were sacrificing themselves. Who are these Mehmetchiks? They are the ones, especially the Turks, the Kurds, some Cherkess, some maybe from the Balkans. They were the Khalifa's soldiers. And they went there without too much weapons, without much ammunition, without much food or supplies, but they had faith. They had faith that you cannot find people today. With that faith, they have that faith that maybe you cannot find anyone who's saying that they're fighting in the name of Islam and Allah today, that they have. Because those ones, so many times they don't have ammunition. You see this over here? This one is a bayonet. Huh? This is a bayonet that through our brothers, alhamdulillah, he is looking and he's trying to find something for Shaykh Efendi, and it came through our hands. There is a bayonet from the time of Canakkale. It belonged to one of the holy soldiers there. It's being sold on eBay. And he's looking and he's saying, I must have this for the sake of the Muslims, so that we can have something physical to remind us of what and who these people were. Those soldiers, they didn't have ammunition. So many times the sergeants told them, take that bayonet there, fix it on your rifle, and just go. And the enemies that are in front of them, there are over 500,000. They are soldiers from all around the world. They are soldiers that they also took from the Muslim world. Those Muslim soldiers, that they were fooled by the British. And those Muslim soldiers, they came, and then when they discovered that they have to fight against the Khalifa, it was too late. They said, we cannot fight, it was too late. They say, you better fight or else we're going to kill you. There were some they took from India. They fooled those soldiers. They say, we're going to go to Istanbul to rescue the Khalifa, because the Germans, they took them. And those ones they believe. I know there are some from, alhamdulillah, Southeast Asia part of the world, Malaysia, Singapore area. When the British were going to recruit, they rebelled. And because of that, they were executed. They were hung. They also may be counted amongst those shaheeds, the shuhada of Canakkale. They say, we rather die than to go to fight against the Khalifa. So those ones, those soldiers that were there. So what happened to the rest of the Muslims? They betrayed the Khalifa. They turned their backs. The entire Arabistan, Arabia, they not only turned their backs and they didn't help the Khalifa, they helped the enemies to enter through their lands, through Yemen, through every other area, to try to come to Istanbul to bring the Khilafat down. Never before the world has seen such a situation where the whole world is gathering together to fight against one nation, one small area. 28 fronts, the Ottomans, they were fighting. And those enemies who came, more than 500,000 came. They came with the latest technology, latest weapons, latest ammunition. They couldn't even take 1 foot of sand, of land coming, crossing the Bosphorus, coming to Istanbul to bring it down. Because the Mehmetçiks, they gave their lives. They did not give their lives. Understand this well. This is the words of Ashabul Saif. These are the words of Haqq. They did not give up their lives for Turkey. They did not give up their lives for nationalism. They did not give up their lives, those men and those women, because there were so many women also involved in that war. Yes. So many women, young women, old women, grandmothers, they were involved in that war. And they went and they fight and they get knocked down and they say, Allah. So many that they were buried there without coffin. And they were just buried there on that land. So all these ones, they were fighting for the Khalifa. They were fighting for Allah. They sacrificed for the Holy Prophet. They sacrificed everything for Deen, for Islam. They were marching and they were going because they didn't have any ammunition. And they say, just march forward. They march, they get shot. Next one coming, they got shot. Next one, next one, next one. Until they form a wall of humans to stop the enemy from coming. And the enemies were terrified, saying that, who are these ones? Who are these ones that is stopping us? At night time, when there's a ceasefire, when everything stopped, the soldiers, the Mehmetçiks, whatever food they have, because they know some of the enemies over there, they don't have food. They were throwing food into the water to feed them. The sacrifice that they gave was for Allah, for Islam. And with Allah's power and with His help, they did not manage, the enemies did not manage to cross through and to bring the Khalifa down. If they brought the Khilafat down, they would have destroyed Islam, destroyed Ahl Sunnah. Islam cannot be destroyed, yes, we understand that. But the Aqidah, the practices and the lifestyle can be destroyed, as we are seeing today. And those ones who gave up their lives, they didn't give up their lives. Those men and those women, they did not give up their lives for us to have a modern, moderate Islam. They did not give up their lives so that we can have nationalism. They did not give up their lives so that the men can leave their responsibilities and not behave like a mu'min. They did not give up their lives so that the women can take off their hijabs and run around the streets and become Western. That's why they were there fighting against it. To stop all of that influence from coming. And those ones that they are praising that one, saying that he is the one who is a hero of the Canakkale. Because of him, they stop all these Western people from coming. He was a bigger Western than them. So you stop the French from coming, but you're becoming more French than them. And that's what he is putting into his people. Because the enemies of the Ottomans understood. We have to bring the head down. If we don't bring the head down, especially these Turks, they are very strong and they have strong faith in them. And if we don't bring their head down, we cannot continue with our plans. We cannot continue to take the Quds, the Palestine. We cannot then divide this Muslim Ummah that was one, that was united, into over 40, 50, who knows, maybe 70 different nations that we are today. Muslims speaking about unity. We had a unity. We had a unity under a Khalifa. For 1300 years we have a unity. We don't have a unity now. But they are saying we must unite with other things. No, you cannot. You must unite with the Khalifa. So those ones who sacrifice themselves, it is not for them they're sacrificing. It is for us. If they didn't sacrifice themselves, we would not have the Islam today. Ahl Sunnah Aqidah would have finished. That's why Awliya Allah, they are saying, those ones, they are not Sahabis. But the station that Allah has given to them, it is very close to the Sahabis. It is like the Sahabi Kiram, but they are not Sahabi Kiram. Because the battle of Canakkale, it is a very decisive battle. As the battle of Badr is. It was very important and it decided which way Islam was going to go. In the battle of Badr, as Shaykh Efendi said, don't think that the Holy Prophet ﷺ with the Sahabi Kiram, when they went to Medina and when they hear the news that the Mushriks are going to come and fight, then they take everything, they got so excited and they went to fight. Don't think that way. Don't believe that way. There is a kafir way of believing. And you're reading so many different ways, so many different books, and you're believing that. It is not. They knew that the Mushriks were coming. Holy Prophet ﷺ did not say anything. As he did not say anything. For how many years in Mecca? 10 years. 10 years in Mecca. His followers, they were boiled in hot oil. They were ripped apart. They were tortured. They were killed. All their property was taken away. Everything was destroyed. And the Muslims and the Holy Prophet ﷺ did not lift up one single hand to stop them. He did not. Because Allah was ordering His Prophet ﷺ, teaching them submission, teaching them patience, teaching them faith, teaching them how to sacrifice and why to sacrifice. And when they came to Medina, when they heard that the Mushriks were coming, they went and they saw Holy Prophet ﷺ. They said, Ya Rasulullah ﷺ, shouldn't we defend ourselves now? We left everything and we came here. Holy Prophet ﷺ says, no, we cannot. We have not been given the order yet. I am a servant, as everyone else is a servant to Allah. Allah did not give me order yet. We are not going to fight. But they are coming. Ya Rasulullah, let them come. He's saying. He says, let them come. And what happens, Ya Rasulullah, if they come and they attack us? He said, then we will be shaheed. Allah was testing them. Don't think it is easy. Don't think it is easy to say that I'm a Muslim, I'm a mu'min, I want to live and I want to die for Allah, that it is easy. May Allah not test us with it, but we're asking Allah to give us that faith. Because now, Holy Prophet ﷺ waited and waited according to the order of Allah. And those ones, they sat down and they submitted and they became patient and they believed and they were ready to sacrifice and they're ready to die. And when that moment came, when Prophet ﷺ looked and he saw that every single one of them, they were ready to sacrifice everything, not for the sake of their mothers, not for the sake of their fathers, not for the sake of their homeland, not for the sake of their properties, not for the sake of their lineage, not for the sake of their honor, but for the sake of Allah and His Prophet. When they were ready, then that time Holy Prophet ﷺ says, now we can fight. And Allah gave that order and says, now pull your swords and strike. But know that it is Allah that is going to take their life. You are just going to strike. Don't think they all had swords too. They didn't have swords. So many of them, they have just sticks in their hands. So many of them, they were just carrying stones to fight. Against who? The mushriks. Again, they were outnumbered. There were 313 in the Battle of Badr. It's not thousands. So many came to Medina. Over 700 came to Medina. What happened to the rest of the people? Rest of the people said, oh, you want to fight? Okay. We are going to get ready. Or some of them not even understanding, or they are tricking themselves and they're going somewhere, sneaking away, hiding, because they know the battle was going to happen. And they turned their backs on the Prophet. They were the hypocrites. Because they say it is impossible now. If we're to fight in this war, we're going to win. We're going to lose. So let us hide. That time, if the Muslims, they lost and the enemies come, we can say, no, we were not with them. Riwayat coming, Holy Prophet ﷺ, Shaykh Efendi is saying they only had 2 horses for the Battle of Badr. Over 1,000 mushriks, 313 warriors of Islam, the lions of Islam. Yes, and they were fighting with Allah, Allah, Deen. Just as the soldiers of Canakkale were doing that. They were not saying, Turkey. They're not saying, my mother, my father. They were not saying, my homeland. They're not saying, my children. They're not saying, my bank account. They're not saying nothing. They're saying, Allah, Allah, Deen. And they were going out with that zikr to give up their lives. Just as the warriors, as the shuhada of the Badr they were doing. That if Badr they lost, Islam would not survive too much. Same thing. If the enemies came and brought down the Khilafat, and the Kufr were to enter and bring down the Khilafat, we would not have this religion. So, say, those who are opposed to zikr, what do you say to this? What do you say to this? And so many that they're going to the war fighting for the sake of Allah, and they're saying Allah, 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 Allah. And with that energy and with that power, they're going, and they're already not from this world anyway. Once you get into that, how we say, once you get into that area, into that understanding, into that feeling, they lift you. and you're not from this world, and you're going there, and you're fighting, and you are so close to Allah. You want to be with Allah. You don't enter there to live. You enter there to die. And that's exactly what the Shuhada of Canakkale did. They went there to give up their lives for Allah. They didn't go there making big plans, thinking they're going to have a ticker tape parade when they come back home. They go there to understand that they are going to give what Allah has given them. They're going to give back the lives that Allah has given them for the honor of Islam. And some families, they didn't give one son. Some they gave 2, 3, 4, 5. Shaykh Efendi met one lady. She was such a saintly looking lady. And she said, yes, I gave my sons. I had 5 sons, and they all martyred in that war. And she said, if I have 100 sons, I would send them. Those are the mothers of paradise. Those are the mothers who have paradise under their feet. They don't have the dunya under their feet. They don't have the dunya in their hands. They don't have the dunya in their hearts. Those are the ones, not today's mothers, that they're worshipping their sons. They're worshipping their husbands. They're worshipping the success of this dunya. Later, when they see that their loved ones are going closer to Islam, following someone strong, they say, no, I force you to obey me because paradise is under my feet. Not that kind of mothers. Those kind of mothers, they have hell under their feet and it's burning them, believe me. Those mothers who give up everything for the sake of Allah, and they're reminding their children about Allah and His Prophet and His awliya, who's not putting herself first, who's not making their children to worship them. So many mothers, they make their children to worship them too. It is wrong. Allah and His Prophet is first, alayhi salatu wassalam. That time when you have that, everything will be balanced. That time you'll be able to love your mother the way that it is deserved for the mother to be loved, the father to be loved, your brothers, your sisters. Then everything in the world, that time when you have the love of Allah and His Prophet, impossible for you not to have love for anything else. That time you have love for everything that Allah has created, yes. But if you don't have love for Allah and His Prophet first, then your love is going to become fake. It becomes idol worship. It is wrong. Of course, it must be. There are some foolish ones also, I'm reading here and there, saying they belong to tariqat and they're following. But they're saying, Shaykh is just a title that people give because they love that person. They just give a title. But it is wrong to love that Shaykh more than your mother or your father. And the Quran is saying this. I'm saying this one lost his mind. What happened to this one? Who is that Shaykh? You know Shaykh. You know that one is awliya. You know that one is a saint. Then you understand that one is an inheritor of the Prophet ﷺ. He is representing the Prophet. And Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying to Hazrat Umar, if you don't love me more than you love yourself and everything else, you have not reached to complete faith. Those ones, those mothers and fathers, they love Allah and they love the Prophet more than their children, more than anything else. So many unusual things happened in that holy war, of course. So many miraculous events happened. A huge cloud came and it took away so many soldiers. So many unusual things happened because there were so many awliyas that were also in that war. Our Grand Sheikh was in that war. Our Grand Sheikh, may Allah sanctify his secret and raise his station higher. He had a commander that was not believing too much. But when our Grand Sheikh was worshipping, a bomb came and dropped right next to him. He did not even move. Everywhere else was a disaster except for him. And his commander looked at him and said, I don't believe in Allah too much, but I believe in you. And because of that, he came closer to Allah. So many unusual things happened. So many saints were there. These ones are saints who passed. These ones, the shuhada, if everyone understands. What is a shuhada? What is a shahid? Shahid. Those ones, they gave up their lives for the sake of Allah. And Allah is saying, everyone else who pass, the angel of death comes and takes his life. But when a shahid gives up his life for my sake, I come and I take his life. Allah Azza Jawal is coming and is taking the life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving that one such a high honor that that martyr is saying, Ya Rabbi, if you grant me one wish, I wish myself to be returned back to the earth, to die for your sake again, just so I can relive that sweetness as when you take my life. And I wish that I'll be born back into this world, come back into this world 1,000 times so that I can die 1,000 times, so that you can take my soul 1,000 times. And those shuhada of Canakkale, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves them and they love Allah. Men and the women that were involved and their families who gave up everything for the sake of Allah, for the sake of the Prophet, for the sake of the Khilafat. They were not saying, oh my son, you shouldn't go out there in the cold unless you wear a jacket. I'm afraid that you're going to get cold. They didn't say, oh my son, be next to me. Don't be so much with the men's. Oh my son, some they are saying, it's okay. You should be like women's. Everything you feel you must show. You cannot be cold. There's being cold. You cannot not show your emotions. There was one man. He was not a man. He was a boy. He was a soldier in that war. And his name was Ali. And Ali, when he came to that war, he was very young. And if you've seen some pictures, you see some of the soldiers of Canakkale, they were very young to their boys. 12, 13, they looked like. And Ali, when he came, the other soldiers, they were making fun of him. They were teasing him. They were not making fun of him, but they were teasing him a little bit. His commander also teasing him because he put henna on his head. And they're laughing at him because, as you know, in Muslim culture, you put henna. Some putting henna on their beard and then their fingers when they get married. So this one coming to the war, and there's henna on his head. And they were laughing at him a little bit. So he didn't mind because his heart was strong. One day, he's knowing that the day is going to come soon, that he is going to go and he's going to fight. And he's left his mother in the village, and he wants to write something to his mother before he's removed from this world. He asks his friends to write the letter. This is a true story. There's still original letters of this story. That's kept in the museum. And he's writing, "Oh, my mother, Assalamu alaikum. I'm going to go soon. And before I go, if it's necessary to send my brothers for this war, mother, please send him, but don't put henna on his head. Because there's people here, they're laughing at me. Because I have henna on my head. But send him, and inshallah, pray for me." So he went for the war. And he was martyred. Think now. Think how much love you have for Allah and His Prophet. Think. So many claiming, "I love Allah, I speak to Allah, and Allah speaks to me. I speak to Prophet, Prophet speaks to me. I speak to saints, saints speak to me. Whenever I say, come, the saints, they come. Whenever I say, madad, they just appear." Think now, you have sons, you have daughters. Think. I don't think your love for Islam is that much that your heart is not going to move if your son or your daughter is taken away to fight for the cause of Islam and they're dying for the sake of Allah. We know that too. You can see that kind of worship that people have. Stop that. Stop that. Test yourself if you have enough faith to send your sons and your daughters, to send yourself, your mothers or your fathers to that war, to fight and to die for the sake of Allah. So Ali, they call him Henna Ali. So he went and he was martyred. His mother received the letter after some time, and she wrote a letter back to him. And it came to his commander, but Ali was already shaheed. And his commander his heart was broken. He couldn't open the letter to read. Sometime later, he took the letter and decided to read it. And he read the letter. And the letter is from his mother to Henna Ali. And the mother is saying, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, O my son. May Allah grant you the highest stations and give you faith to fight for the sake of Allah. If the time is coming, I will send your brothers. But let your friends and your commander know, in our village, in our tradition, we put henna on 3 occasions. We put henna on the bride when she's going to get married, to show that she's going to leave her family forever and she's going to join another new family. She's cut off. We put henna on her. In our tradition, we also put henna on the lamb, on the ram that is going to be sacrificed. We put henna on the ram because we're going to sacrifice the ram for the sake of Allah. And we put henna on our boys who are going to go to war and to sacrifice themselves for the sake of Allah. Explain to them, my son, but don't make me Don't force me not to put henna on your brothers, because that is our tradition. We should think. These stories are not for nothing. These are real. These are people. These are people. Allahu Alam, what they're going to say if they see the state of the Muslims today. The situation of the Muslims today, especially in Turkey. Compare then those boys and those girls that's fighting in that war for the sake of Allah and for the sake of Islam. Think now, did they fight and did they sacrifice their lives so that 100 years later, little boys and little girls, not only in Turkey, but everywhere else in the Muslim countries, when you see them, and when you see the other kafirs, the unbelievers, you're not going to see too much difference between them. Do you think they gave up their lives for that? They gave up their lives for nationalism, for selfish, egoistic, Western lifestyle? No, they did not. Today, there is no jihad. There is no jihad. Jihad, the last one, was given in the Battle of Canakkale. Because only a Khalifa can declare a jihad. If there is no Khalifa, there is no jihad. Since that time until now, no, there is no jihad declared by a Khalifa. Now is not the time for us, for that too. We are preparing now, but we are not preparing with guns, or with ammunition, or with swords, or nothing. We are preparing, keeping ourselves clean, not running around too much, living a simple life, following in the footsteps of our Shaykh and the Prophet, doing zikr and worshipping, preparing ourselves, yes, for that big war. That other big war, the biggest war that is going to come, Armageddon. Preparing ourselves for that. That when Hazrat Mahdi alayhi salam calls the takbir, as Holy Prophet was saying, if you hear the takbir of Mahdi alayhi salam, even if you're holding a baby, speaking to the women, understand this. Women who are worshipping to their sons and to their daughters and to their children, Prophet is giving an order. If you hear the takbir of Mahdi alayhi salam, even if you're holding a baby in your arms, drop the baby. Drop it. However you want to take it, take it. If you're saying he's gone crazy, he's saying drop the baby. Drop the baby. You can say that too. I'm just repeating what Holy Prophet is saying. There are so many meanings to that, but for the foolish one who wants to misunderstand, they can misunderstand anything. But it is a big test for us, for men and for women, for that time. And Canakkale, if we understand it, then maybe we get a little bit of an understanding of what it takes to sacrifice in the name of Allah for Islam. Muslims today cannot even sacrifice their own comfort. They cannot. Murids cannot even sacrifice a couple of hours to just come to the dergah. Isn't it? They cannot. It's too much. What? Me crawl over ice and snow? Why? But those who did, mashallah to you. You know yourself who you are. Those who say, I really want to go, but I cannot, and you're not fooling yourself and making excuses for yourself, and your heart is really with us, mashallah, we pray for you. But you know who you are. Those who are just taking it for a ride, then we are saying be careful, because Shaykh and his dergah is not a cheap dergah. It is not a dergah that is without any value. If you don't put value in it, it will be taken away from you, definitely. and it will be given to others who are thirsty and who are starving and who are looking for the kind of light and understanding and knowledge that Shaykh Efendi is giving. Right now, as we are speaking, there's so many in other parts of the world that they are begging us to go. We are nothing. But when Shaykh Efendi is putting something, then we have an obligation to give. There's no permission now, so we are here. But who knows, if the permission is given, what is going to happen? As Allah likes. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a little bit more understanding, give us a little bit more of their faith, for us to put into our lives and for us to think and for us to understand. Everyone is asking for a high station and a high level, but they're not willing to sacrifice that much. Because Allah is saying, do you think that you're going to enter into the paradise of my prophets and of their companions without going through their tests, without us testing you? So, like we said, we are not asking to be tested, but we are saying, Ya Rabbi, grant us more strength. We know that we are weak, but grant us more strength, that if that test comes, it is with your strength, Ya Rabbi, that we can overcome it. May Allah grant them higher stations. May they send their support and their help to us. May Allah raise the station of Shaykh Efendi and grant long life and a healthy life and a strong life to our grand Shaykh. May we be living and serving when the time of Mahdi alayhi salam comes, sincerely, and may we live and may we die for that cause. ومن الله توفيق الفاتحة.